Well, now we're live. There we go. What's up, guys? Yeah, so here we are again. I haven't done one of these Q&As in quite some time, but since the channel has somehow, some way passed 900 subscribers, I'm like, why the heck not? I'll just come on and have some fun with you guys, answer your guys' questions as we go through today. It's a nice, calm little Wednesday over here. But in any case, guys, if you're new to the channel, what the heck are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and that thumbs up as well. We're going to be talking a lot of movies. There's a Moon Knight trailer that's out. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit about that. I've got Harry Potter, Harry Potter reviews coming, on the regular over here. We've got so I've got Goblet of Fire next up. I've got 3 reviews already out. So yeah, lots to look forward to over here. I'm gonna check out Cyrano this weekend. Can't wait for that. And I've got a lot of Royal Rumble content hitting the channel for all my fellow wrestling fans out there. But looks like we got some excellent people in the chat. Salute to Perp. What's up, my friend? How you doing? He's got a great channel himself. Jacoby, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you as always. My bro Luke, how you doing? You're currently at work, but wanted to stop by and say hi. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, if you're at work, if you're just chilling out at home in front of your computer, your laptop, whatever you're doing, thank you guys so much for stopping by. It really does mean a ton. And yeah, I'm ready to shoot the breeze with you guys about anything. If you want to talk about Marvel, if you want to talk about Moon Knight, if you want to talk about, Book of Boba Fett, I'm sure we'll get to that for sure. But I have not seen the latest episode 5, which was released today at the time of streaming. So please no spoilers for that. I have been seeing some people try to put memes on Twitter about the Book of Boba Fett. And I'm like, why do you do that? Like, why do you do that, please? But yeah, also, what's up, Bad Dog Reviews? How you doing? My day has been good. It's been, been fairly calm. Nice little day off from my day job, so I'm here to do the Q&A instead, which is pretty fun, all things considered. I've already had 2 cups of coffee today, so it's a good day. Can't complain too much, my friends. But let's see. Luke is also doing a live stream at 7:30 Central Time tonight, talking about the most anticipated movies of 2022. That's a good topic we can discuss. Also, let me know what your most anticipated is down in the chat below, and we can talk a little bit about that, because let's face it, January is still the January purgatory. Pandemic or not, that's where movies go to die every single year. I've seen a couple of pretty shitty movies this month. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, can I just it's it's bad when I'm begging for Moonfall to save me, at least from being, not a shitty film, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Jacoby is watching Boba Fett episode 5 right now. Let me know how it is, my friend. I'm probably going to go ahead and check that out after I get off here, actually. But, that show, let me just say this, my friends. It's been very, very disappointing, in my opinion, so far. Just the fish tank dreams, as I like to call them, have been so damn repetitive, and I'm like just begging for something more. Episode 4 starting to pick up a little bit, but honestly, I've got no expectations for Book of Boba Fett at this point. Peacemaker, though, Peacemaker's a damn good show, and nobody can prove to me otherwise. But Perp says Harry Potter is the best film franchise. Again, yeah, that and Marvel. Definitely my top 2 for me, which should be fairly obvious. Star Wars would have been up there, but then the sequel trilogies and Rogue One came out and ruined it. But anyway, Film Lover 134, how you doing, my friend? What are some of the Korean films you've seen so far? I really want to watch Old Boy. That's up there for sure. Nothing beats Parasite for me, though, man. I mean, just insanity personified. Like, you want something that's just and Parasite is all over the place, man. It's just thank you for not spoiling, Jacoby. Means the world, my friend. Video Tasties, how you doing, my friend? I love that name too. Have you seen any Tom Hanks films from the 80s, particularly the comedies? As a matter of fact, I have, and one of my favorites actually is Big. This one right over here. I love this damn thing. Rest in peace to Robert Loggia. Rest in peace to John Hurd as well. Both of whom, both of them were great underrated actors. But I actually, my sophomore year of high school, I was in a production of Big the Musical, and I got to play Robert Loggia's part, the boss. So that was a lot of fun. I do remember jumping on the piano quite a lot during rehearsals, and that was, yeah, it was a great time for sure. I was done with Boba Tea after episode 2. Does that mean we're spilling tea on Boba Fett at this point, Perp? Is that what you mean by tea? Let me know. Let me know. Luke's most anticipated movie of 2022. Get this, guys. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is, I mean, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see Knuckles debut into the franchise. I wouldn't put it nearly as high on my list. My most anticipated movie, I agree with Film Lover 134. That is definitely going to be The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, who brought you all the best Planet of the Apes movies, in my eyes. That new sequel trilogy that's out there. Excellent, excellent stuff. And with I mean, I've listened to the theme already, and it's so cool. And the fact that it's going to be damn near 3 hours is just chef's kiss, guys. Icing on the cake. Let me know if my sound is okay. By the way, I've got this new little Yeti microphone here that I got for Christmas a month ago. So yeah, let me know if the sound is okay for you guys. And we'll go ahead and keep going. How's it going, man? Thank you for joining the stream. We're just kind of, laying back. We're talking about the most anticipated movies of 2022. Let me know down in the chat also what your most anticipated Marvel movie is of 2022 and what some of your predictions are for this year. We'll go ahead and discuss those as well. Herb has a good question here. Do you think Disney Plus can make a hit series that doesn't rely on cameos? Well, I mean, WandaVision was kind of one of those. I mean, if you want to talk about Ralph Boner being a cameo, then I mean, I guess that sort of counts. But I mean, WandaVision didn't have to be overly reliant on cameos, in my opinion. Loki Loki was my favorite out of the Marvel series. And it basically, it only had the cameo in the finale right there. No spoilers, of course, for anybody who hasn't seen Loki. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people in my life that have not sat through Loki all the way through. So this is just for them. So because Loki was my favorite. And if you haven't seen Loki yet, what the heck are you still doing here? You can go ahead and turn that on. It's way better than the Book of Boba Fett. What are some non-movie related channels you watch or subscribe to? I watch a lot of music related channels. Actually, there's this, I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but my parents actually introduced me to those two guys who always listen to rap music on on the regular, and then the pandemic started, and then they started their own YouTube channel where people send them requests to send them any songs to react to other than rap. Clarify down in the comments section below what their channel name is, because I feel so bad. I can't remember their name off the top of my head, but they're very fun. I also subscribe to a lot of wrestling related channels. Wrestling with Regret is one of my personal favorites. Parts Fun Known is also a really fun one for fantasy booking and all that. So, and then also after the insane freaking weekend of football that we got, I also like going back and revisiting those games. The Bills and the Chiefs game on Sunday night. Holy shit, man. Anybody watch the Bills and Chiefs game? Because may have just been the best playoff game I've ever seen in my whole damn life. And I've watched a lot of football. So in any case, episode 5 of Book of Boba Fett is awesome. A specific character comes back. Well, good to hear. Don't go any further details about that, my friend. I'd like to be surprised on what character that is. Rogue One. Yeah, that was okay. Let me just say this real quick. Rogue One, I was not personally a big fan of. Yes, it's in my collection, but only for completion purposes. It was honestly one of the most disappointing theater experiences I can remember. Yes, it was nice getting all the answers. Yes, it was nice to see Darth Vader, and the ending tunnel scene was as badass as you can imagine. But the thing with Star Wars for me that always resonated for me was the characters. And there are no characters in Rogue One because they all pretty much fall by the wayside by the end. Jyn Erso, like, what do you remember about her? Andor, you're going to get a lot more answers from him in the series, and I'm so glad that Diego Luna is getting another shot with him. But aside from one outburst in Rogue One, what was his character? That's just what I'm looking at. Jacoby, honestly, after Scream, which was great, the only thing I'm excited to see next is Jackass Forever. Oh boy. Well, in any case, so let me just say that the new Scream or Scream 5 or 5 Cream as I call it always. That's a shout out to my pal Amanda on here. Um it's you know, that was a fun movie, but I honestly couldn't care less rather about Jackass Forever because I just think it's a dumb concept. Johnny Knoxville, credit to him for getting all the attention in the world for, putting his body on the line as a stuntman and all that. But like, I just don't like the concept. I just don't think it's funny to see them put themselves through that. But anyway, Bad Dog Review says I'll be seeing Moonfall next Wednesday. Wow, okay, nice for sure. Cyrano was unfortunately delayed. I was hearing about that. It kept getting pushed back like a week, and then it turned into 2 weeks, and it turned into like 3 weeks or something like that. Um, at least it's not Morbius, which is just delaying the inevitable. Because I guarantee you guys that Morbius will be on my worst movies of the year. I know I'm not supposed to judge a movie by its cover, but I'm pretty sure Morbius is going to be the absolute shits, my friends. If anybody disagrees with me, you can let me know. Train to Busan, yes, I have. It's a really fun film, my friend. That's honestly one that always, falls over my head. I always go right to Parasite and Old Boy when I think of Korean cinema right there. But it's all great. It's all great for sure. I do remember that Train to Busan 2, there was a sequel out there that was like one of the most popular movies in the year 2020 at the drive-in that was open because I'm out in California. And the pandemic restrictions were a lot, stricter when my YouTube channel first started. So one of the things that the drive-in was playing constantly were the Train to Busan films, and people were going to them all the time. They were loving it over there. But in any case, Luke asks, are you excited for Uncharted? Cautiously optimistic about Uncharted. I'm hoping it's good. I think Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg together will, at least be a fun duo. Am I expecting it to be good? I'm hoping it is. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for it. But if it's, as one of the better characters in No Way Home says, if you I don't remember how the quote exactly goes. If you don't set yourself up for disappointment, then you can never be disappointed, basically. So I don't want to be disappointed by Uncharted, is what I'm saying. Favorite moment from the 90s movies tournament. Shout out to Ryan O'Toole, who just showed up in the chat. Go subscribe to him if you haven't already. That was a very, very fun time, Jacoby. And Ryan, I cannot thank you enough for including me in that tournament. That was so damn fun. We're going to have to do that again at some point. And I don't know if it's my place to say or if I can announce it yet, but I am. Ryan and I are talking about doing another collaboration down the line here. There are some Oscar nominations coming up, just so you guys know. But my favorite moment from the 90s movie tournament, I do remember, I mean, that's a 4-hour extravaganza right there. There were just so many fun moments, but I did shout out to my buddy Patrick on there, but he basically went on a tear about the Matrix like I've never heard before. I have never heard so much Matrix slander in my life. But honestly, a lot of people consider the Matrix a masterpiece, but Patrick's takes, as hot as they may be, very justified, and they make a lot of sense for sure. So definitely go check that out. As far as personally, I loved the fact that I got to eliminate certain movies. I think I eliminated The Lion King on the deciding vote too, but that was fun. That was fun for sure. The Lion King's fate was in the palm of my hands because Ryan knows Beauty and the Beast is better than The Lion King. But anyway, Sonic 2 is number 4 for Ty. How's it going, my friend, by the way? Excellent guy. Yeah, no, it's honestly, dude, again, my expectations aren't as high for Sonic 2. I think it's going to be fun. I don't know if it's going to be in my top 10 movies of the year or anything like that, or however many movies I decide to include there. But, you never know. Jungle Cruise was in my top 20 last year, so anything can happen, really. Rogue One is very underrated to me. I get the complaints, but that film is definitely a masterpiece compared to The Rise of Crap Walker. I had fun with The Rise of Skywalker as I get it. I get it. As contrived and as ridiculous as the plot may be for Rise of Skywalker, I had fun with it. It was fun seeing Ian McDermott again, and like, yeah, it was. It's a mess though. I agree, definitely a mess. Eyes most anticipated are Aquaman and the Last Kingdom, the Batman and the Flash. Are we getting I think we're getting a Flash trailer pretty soon, aren't we? I've been seeing on Twitter the logo just like lighting up. So that must mean that a trailer is coming soon. And anybody can clarify for me in the chat there. But audio sounds good. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, Batman easy number one for me. I would think that my top five, if I had to go right now for most anticipated, would be no particular order: Batman, uh, Multiverse, of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Lightyear, and I know what number five is. It's going to be The Northman. Robert Eggers' next film, his follow up to The Lighthouse. There, it's not going to be a sequel to The Lighthouse. It's a Viking scary movie. So I'm very very excited to see that. Matt Reeves also did Cloverfield and the Let Me. I always forget that Matt Reeves was the one behind Cloverfield, and that was a great found footage film. It was very very good. Um, what movie made you so uncomfortable while watching? Luke asks. It's Requiem for a Dream for him. Is that just because of Jared Leto because he rubs you the wrong way? You can call it a hot take all you want, but House of Gucci was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I'm not a Jared Leto fan anymore, but Requiem for a Dream is one of them. I can tell you a funny story about my experience going to see The Revenant. Actually, the first time it was in theaters, I went with my parents, and my mom is a little bit more squeamish. My dad and I love the gory stuff. My dad and I are way into Game of Thrones, which I'm working on season 6 right now, my friends. I'm getting close to the Battle of the Bastards, so in case anybody's wondering. But um, going to watch The Revenant, I do remember it being very, very tense, honestly, when the bear came in and just pummels Leo like he did. You remember the scene I'm talking about. But then you get to around the halfway point of the film. I'd had a gigantic soda with me at that point. Really had to use the bathroom about halfway through the film. And then most of the sound effects is just waterfalls. So if you want to call it uncomfortable in that way, I wanted to see how the film played out, but man, oh man, I would not recommend, having a gigantic drink with you while you watch The Revenants because you will have to pause it at some point and then run to the restroom. But I don't know if that's, I mean, if that's the kind of uncomfortable you're looking for, that's, yeah, that's an example I can give you. Bring Multiverse of Madness and a Ralph Boner cameo. That's not the cameo I've been hearing about, my friend. I've been hearing so many things relating to the Illuminati and the comics, and connecting maybe to the mutants as well. But I mean, only time will tell. Multiverse of Madness comes out in about like 3 months at this point, so don't have to wait too much longer. I do remember that being the most exciting announcement from Hall H in 2019. I remember being so enticed by that. Most anticipated Marvel movie this year is a cliche, but it's Multiverse of Madness. Everybody's excited for Multiverse of Madness. I am so stoked to see it, but personally, I would put Love and Thunder hype level over Multiverse of Madness if I had to pick one or the other. If I were forced, at gunpoint to pick between the two, it would probably be Love and Thunder just because I loved Ragnarok so much and I've been waiting for a follow up for so long. Ragnarok is one of the most entertaining movies you will ever see, in my opinion. But I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, Taika Waititi has the Guardians of the Galaxy at his disposal this time. So, anything goes, no holds barred, basically. That's not rated R, Peacemaker level. So, Multiverse of Madness is definitely Movie and Train Studios' most anticipated Marvel movie for the year. I have no idea what to expect prediction wise. That's the magic of it, my friend. You know that Wanda Maximoff is going to be involved. You know Westview is going to come, back into the fray. I think the big, the big plot line. I mean, America Chavez is going to factor in as well, but I do think that the big gimmick is that Stephen Strange will see the multiverse is open, but he won't understand why the multiverse is open because he doesn't remember who Peter Parker is. So there you go. Loki is the best. I absolutely 100% agree with you. Yes. I would actually, it would go Loki number one for me in terms of Disney Plus shows. Then it would go Hawkeye. then WandaVision, then Falcon and Winter Soldier. I don't put What If kind of in that I mean, it is Marvel canon, but like only time will tell. I mean, we're gonna see some what if concepts in Multiverse of Madness, which I think is an excellent idea. Seeing Benedict Cumberbatch fighting himself, that's going to be really fun. And I do think that that will be a better fight than Paul Bettany fighting himself in WandaVision. You heard it here first. Do I watch anime? Not a whole lot. I mean, the Studio Ghibli films are fun. But in any case, yeah. So yeah, I definitely need to get on that. Like, there's a lot of things that I need to, touch on with anime. I know Belle is out in theaters right now, and I know a lot of people are raving about it. So is it dead end hip hop? I'm not exactly sure what dead end hip hop. Oh, you're talking about the channel that I mentioned earlier. It might be. It might be. Yeah. I'll have to clarify real quick. I'll have to clarify with people that, watch them religiously. Ryan says that Bills and Chiefs game is insane. I know. It was easily the best game I saw all weekend. Honestly, that's Sunday because the Rams and Bucks game was a lot of fun too. I know my buddy Jacob Hubbard, if he happens to be watching right now or if he's watching the replay, was very, very disappointed throughout these first 2 weekends because his team demolished in the wild card round. Ryan's team also, the Patriots, right? So yeah, my condolences, Ryan, about the Patriots there. But and then Jacob is also a Bucks fan, so that was like a 1-2 punch of like both of his guys just going down, immediately. Your Name is a really great anime movie you should watch. So many people have been telling me that. So many people have been telling me that, and that's another thing. Favorite Studio Ghibli movie? Spirited Away. Easy. I know it's a cliche answer, but it's got to be Spirited Away there. Jacoby did not care for Rogue One. Thank you. Thank you. It was not very good. Like, here's my thing. When your most likable character in the series, or not the series, the whatchamacallit, the movie, when your most likable character is a droid, something's wrong. Something's wrong because you don't have a character you can latch onto like a Han Solo or a Princess Leia for that matter, even though she shows up in CGI form at the very end. But I heard Michael Keaton's role is getting beefed in Morbius. Oh boy. Oh boy. Are you sure that's not just because Andrew Garfield is making a cameo at the end? Because that would make it worth it for me. Michael Keaton as the Vulture in Morbius really does not excite me all that much. But we'll see how that goes away. Ryan was completely blown away by Train to Busan. Yeah, it's a popular one. It's a popular one for sure. Old Boy is the best movie of the Korean cinema. What's up, Tyler Durden? By the way, I promise that I will not talk about your little underground club that you somehow run, and you make dreams happen and illusions. But yeah, we'll not talk about that David Fincher movie. So the only January movie I was interested in was the anime film Belle, basically anime Beauty and the Beast, but with virtual reality. Ooh. Do you guys want me to review Belle? I mean, honestly, there's nothing really much else to talk about this much in terms of this month, rather, in terms of new releases aside from Cyrano. So let me know. I'll see what the consensus is. If you want me to review Belle, I can, but no guarantees that it'll be out like, right away. Cause I've got a very busy week ahead of me. So I appreciate your guys' patience with me in advance, but, yeah, if you got the Harry Potter series still going strong, I'm gonna look at putting out my Goblet of Fire review on Monday the 31st, if I had to hazard a guess. And of course, I've got the Blu-ray haul coming up. It's not gonna be a huge Blu-ray haul like you're used to, just because I made the trip to Disneyland, earlier this month, which I'm more than happy to talk about as well. If you have any questions about, Disneyland or, if you're planning a trip to Anaheim or to Disney World, I'm more than happy to answer any of those questions as well and how it all works. But let's see here. Kind of a random question, but what are your thoughts on the Bad Boys movies? I rewatched Bad Boys for Life. Really like it. Bad Boys 1 and 2 are fun movies. Bad Boys 3, not so much. Bad Boys for Life was very, very fun. Harkened back to the original 2. I do think that it is an overall better series than the Men in Black series. Just overall, overarching, basically. because Men in Black International, I think, ruined the whole franchise for me. It honestly made me fall asleep in the theater, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Like Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson in a Men in Black movie sounds like a match made in heaven, but how on earth can you make that boring? Men in Black International is how you make it boring. So let's but that's part of the fun of the Jackass movies. A bunch of dumbasses doing stupid stunts. You can tell the guys are having fun. I mean, if they're having fun, if people have fun with it, great. I just think it's stupid. Like it's so like what is their end goal? You know? Like what are they trying to prove here? That they're, dumbasses that turn out to be badasses as well. Like the guy has honey on his nutsack and the bear comes in and like there's no end goal with Jackass there for me. Am I looking forward to Death on the Nile? I mean, I would have been looking forward to it had it came out in 2020, but after it understandably got delayed many times, hype has kind of died down a little bit, and now I have zero expectations for it. But I do think that Kenneth Branagh is going to be excellent as Hercule Poirot once again. I loved his Murder on the Orient Express. That was an all-star cast right there. Very underrated film, in my opinion. But I don't think Death on the Nile will be as good, but I think it'll be at least an interesting mystery there. Luke feels like Tom Holland was miscast for Uncharted. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that they're going with a younger Nathan Drake, that's for sure. And it's, fitting enough that they have Tom Holland, who, aside from Timothy Chalamet, is apparently the only young 25-year-old actor in Hollywood right now. So, in any case, yeah. I mean, I probably would have preferred someone like a Liev Schreiber, maybe, as Nathan Drake. But, to each their own. What do you think of the new trailer X from A24? I actually haven't seen that, Ryan, and welcome, by the way. He has a great channel in his own right. If you want to go check him out, definitely got some good stuff going there too. Luke has a very interesting question. If Don't Look Up got a physical release, would I buy it? Absolutely. Don't Look Up. If you guys missed my best of the year list, Don't Look Up is number 2 for me. Only behind Spider-Man No Way Home. Don't Look Up, I feel like, is the most important film to come out of last year. If you haven't seen Don't Look Up, it's on Netflix. I feel like it's something everybody should be watching. It's probably the ballsiest film I've seen released in a long, long time. And it was only fitting that Adam McKay was the guy to do the job there. And that is honestly the ballsiest group of actors to take on that project too. Leo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence. I mean, makes sense because they're very socially active, I guess you could say. Leonardo DiCaprio, I know, is very, outspoken about preserving the environment and all that. Like, that's what his whole Oscar acceptance speech was about, was preserving the environment. If you guys remember when he won for The Revenant. But, it's, to answer your question, Luke, short answer, yes, absolutely. Criterion, get on that, please. Tyler Durden says The Matrix is a masterpiece. If Patrick Burrow has something to say about that, my friend. Yeah. Ryan, can you please, again, if you haven't seen the 90s movie tournament on Ryan's channel, it's a 4-hour extravaganza, but it's a lot of fun to just, it was a freaking blast. And I don't remember what movies that that quote came up as, but legendary quote, and you kind of need that on a t-shirt now, don't you? You're going to find that in Spencer's in a few weeks. So Colby is cautiously optimistic about Uncharted from what he's seen from the games. Well, I get why some don't love the casting of Holland and Wahlberg. They're the least of worries about it. Yeah, I mean, it can either, here's the thing, guys. It can either be very, very fun, like Sonic the Hedgehog, or it can just be an outright disaster because they tried to put in so many games into one story at once, like Welcome to Raccoon City last year. That's my main concern with it. I feel like because there's a lot of Uncharted games out there, they're going to try and bog the story down way too much with storylines from multiple games into one singular narrative in the script. But again, we have a few weeks to, dread it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. Jacoby's favorite moment was Patrick driving Austin crazy with those hot takes. How about favorites? That was all the time. That was all the time. Patrick was driving all of us crazy with those hot takes there. He enjoyed Disney Star Wars movies. Solo is just okay. You guys want a hot take? Speaking of, I prefer Solo over Rogue One. I think Alden Ehrenreich was fantastic in there. So, how's it going, dude? Yo, Zack, nice, awesome. Good to see you, my friend. Just kind of, chilling out here. We're about half hour into the stream. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can. That would be so awesome. Luke, the black phone. That, honestly, I am so excited for. I'm so happy that Scott Derrickson is getting to go back into the scary genre. As a big fan of the first Sinister film, love what Scott Derrickson did there. And honestly, the black phone looks even creepier. I'm so sad that it got delayed into the summertime, because it would have come out at the end of February if it hadn't been touched, if the release date hadn't been touched. But it's coming out June 24th, I want to say, the week after Lightyear hits theaters. So yeah, definitely a hyped movie up over there. So oh yes, yeah, Austin's Green Mile mess up for sure. Yeah, he's gonna go with the Green Mile always. But I am so Halloween series this year. So couple of channel updates. I've got the Harry Potter series, but also I can tell you guys that in the build up to Jurassic World Dominion, I'm going to be reviewing all 5 previous Jurassic Park movies in the build up to that. And I'm not sure yet, but would you guys like to see a random assortment of Stephen King reviews in the hype up to Salem's Lot in September? Because Green Mile could be one of those that I'm talking about. And that also opens up the possibility for me to talk about Shawshank Redemption or, Stand By Me, some of my favorite movies of all time. So if you guys want to hear that, let me know down in the chat, and I'll put that in the pipeline. So we'll see how that goes. Again, on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I want to make sure I'm giving you guys what you want here. Let's see. Well, Requiem for a Dream, because it's hard to watch, but intentionally. Yeah, for sure. It's, I don't... Requiem for a Dream, I own it, but I honestly don't remember touching it since I watched it for the first time on that Blu-ray, because I was just so oh my god, it was an experience to say the very least. I mean, the theme song, the musical score is fantastic, obviously, but I mean, yeah, it's a tough watch. You watched Incendie from Denis Villeneuve? Yep. Yeah, that's another movie that makes you feel uncomfortable there. That's I think that's one of the movies that really put Denis Villeneuve on the map. And let me know also, just for funsies, what's your favorite Denis Villeneuve film? Did Dune overtake that? Because I can preview real quick, but I did pick up Dune. It's the Target exclusive with the nice interchangeable character cards right there. This will be showing up on that Blu-ray haul video in a few days, so I can preview that at least. But yeah, I feel like my favorite Denis Villeneuve film always changes, but Prisoners ones for sure. What's a film that's competing in this year's Oscar season that you feel is undeserved? You found Don't Look Up average. Well, get ready, because it's probably going to win Best Picture, in my opinion, at least. But a film that I feel is undeserved. Well, I will say this: if Eternals gets nominated, that was not the best Marvel movie to come out last year. No Way Home or nothing for me. Eternals, I mean, it could get nominated for Best Cinematography, could get nominated for Best Visual Effects, and that's fine. Best Picture? No, absolutely not. I didn't even think Nomadland deserved to win Best Picture. I thought it was kind of boring, but I mean, it's an interesting look, almost like a Nomadland. I feel like would have worked better as a documentary rather than a fictional narrative, if that makes sense. But what movie is my pick to win Best Picture? I already alluded to it in that last little comment, Luke, but Don't Look Up will be my pick if it's nominated. I really hope it wins. And a special honorable mention going to In the Heights, which was my number 3 on the last year. That was so damn good. If West Side Story ends up winning, I'll be happy. But I mean, I feel like Don't Look Up should win Best Picture, at least in my opinion. Did you hear the news that The Rock and Chris Evans are doing a new movie? I sure did, buddy. I sure did. Where do you think I am? The Rock is a role model here. Seeing him teaming up with Captain America, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I mean, I don't even know like the concept of the movie necessarily. If it's a buddy cop movie like the other guys, almost, I'm all in. I'm all in on it. Most overrated MCU movie. Jacoby says it's Thor Ragnarok. Oh boy. Yeah. So most overrated. Hmm. I would say I really have to think about this because I mean, there's some good about all of them. Captain Marvel, I wouldn't really consider overrated just because it's very mid. Um, but I mean, if I had to pick one, oh God, man, you're putting me on the spot here. You're putting me very much on the spot. Um, I mean, I don't want to say Black Panther just because that was nominated for Best Picture, and it is a great film. I feel like very similar. I feel very similar to Black Panther as I do to The Lion King. I feel like people tend to rate it as a masterpiece, and I am very selective about using that word. Um, I don't think Black Panther is a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like it's a very, very good film, but it does have some problems for sure. It does have some narrative issues. The third act of Black Panther, atrocious CGI, if you ask me. But let's see. Going back to the Josh Allen is the real deal. Scared he is in our division. Yeah, he is the real deal. He's going to be very good for a long time. And what the announcers were saying during that game, Patrick Mahomes himself was saying that him and Josh Allen are going to be battling it out for years and years and years. And I definitely see that. I'm glad my team is in the NFC as opposed to the AFC. So let's see. After that 90s tournament, you got to put Ghost in the Shell on your watch list. I absolutely do. Absolutely do. Yeah, it's so fun. What's a beloved movie you find overrated? For Birdman? What? Wait, hold on a second. Birdman overrated? Birdman overrated. I mean, each their own, but okay. Beloved movie that I find overrated. Whoo, man, I got to collect my thoughts. I mean, I already kind of talked about The Lion King. I mean, there's a lot of like narrative issues with that film, I feel like, but a lot of people say that's their favorite Disney movie of all time. Understandable. That was my favorite Disney movie growing up, but since I've, turned into a 25-year-old man and I've looked at it through a different lens, I definitely see the issues with it. But I mean, I still really like it. Just because I think a movie is overrated doesn't mean that I still don't love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a fine line there. So, Men in Black 1 and 3 were good though. They were. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that Men in Black International wasn't very good. And I think like an overarching, like as a franchise for Will Smith, I feel like Bad Boys is the better franchise than Men in Black, at least in my opinion. Yes, I have seen Pan's Labyrinth, and it's freaking incredible. I actually watched it in a film class in college. Like, when was that? Like 5 years ago for the first time. Excellent, excellent foreign film. Actually, I just watched, speaking of Del Toro, I just watched Hellboy from 2004 for the first time last night. Really good film as well, and really amazing special effects for 2004. And it was a lot more fun than I was expecting going in. Ron Perlman actually had a lot of really amazing one-liners in that movie, which really caught me off guard. That was a lot of fun to watch. So glad you brought that up. And I did, yeah, Pan's Labyrinth, excellent, excellent film. Congrats on 900, D Movie Man says. Thank you so much, my friend. You guys did that. Are you kidding me? I should be thanking all of you guys. Thank you. Yeah, let's get to 1,000. Let's go ahead and round that number up. And then let's get to 2,000 after that. What the heck? Why not, right? Are there any films that you watched that were so disturbing and or depressing you never wanted to watch them again? House of Sand and Fog are mine. I actually haven't seen either of those. But we kind of talked about Requiem for a Dream earlier on. But let's see. What else depressed me? Just looking at the shelf here. Well, Sweeney Todd, as depressing as that is, I can rewatch Sweeney Todd over and over and over again just because Sondheim's music, rest in peace, masterful, absolutely masterful. Aside from that, I mean, Winchester was a pretty depressing movie, all things considered, just because of how bad it was. But I mean, oh, here's one. I can tell you the Clockwork Orange, disturbing, disturbing. I really don't feel the urge to rewatch a Clockwork Orange over and over again, and I totally understand if there's people that do. I mean, that's their cup of tea. Bravo for putting up with that so many times. But in any case, let's see. Thoughts on the A24 film Good Time? Safdie brothers, good stuff. I actually prefer Uncut Gems over Good Time just because I feel like we all knew that Robert Pattinson was a good actor underneath all the Edward Cullen nonsense, but I do think that Uncut Gems best Adam Sandler performance of his career, bar none. And the Safdie brothers got that out of a guy who made stuff like The Water Boy. He made shitty movies like Jack and Jill. Like the fact that they got that out of Adam Sandler of all people really speaks volumes about them as filmmakers. So Good Time though, it's the clue is in the name. It's Good Time for sure. Don't Look Up is number 4 in his 2021 ranking. Yep, it absolutely is. Absolutely is for sure. Which film would you like to see released on 4K this year? Ooh, I mean, I haven't really upgraded a lot of my collection to 4K necessarily. Um, but I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, the Bad News Bears, I feel like would look pretty good on 4K. I mean, I think the transfer would be at least fairly decent. I don't know what other anniversaries are coming up off the top of my head. I'm just thinking about it, but the thing, John Carpenter's The Thing being re-released on 4K if it hasn't already, that'd be really really cool. Ooh, I know a lot of people are going to kill Jacoby because of recently. I think Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds would have been better Nathan Drake, although I don't hate Holland as Drake like some do. Yeah, I mean, it's a like we talked about, man. It's a very interesting take to have Nathan Drake be a younger like version, I guess you can say. The Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds, I feel like it would be I feel like an Uncharted movie would be better for Chris Pratt than a Super Mario film. Chris Pratt is going to go full House of Gucci with the voice, so we'll see what happens. Are there any particular films where you felt a certain role was miscast? Jared Leto as the Gucci brother, one of the worst performances I've ever freaking seen in my life. That was a piece of garbage. It really bogs down the movie from being a true Ridley Scott, like, oh my God. It was like, they were so close. Adam Driver was doing some good work. Lady Gaga, bless her heart, was doing some really good work. Al Pacino stole the show. Jared Leto stole the show for different reasons in terms of being a shitty actor in the wrong role. Although it didn't happen, I was perplexed by Channing Tatum being cast as Gambit. Yeah, I mean, so in terms of roles that are being more like more less obvious, what roles have been miscast? I'm trying to. Well, I can tell you, Don't Breathe 2. Stephen Lang being cast as the hero in that. After a rewatch, it's really rubbed me the wrong way. As fun as the action is, they did not need to go Terminator 2 with the Don't Breathe series there. Did not like it. Uncharted could be like the recent Tomb Raider movie with Alicia Vikander, where it was mad. But yeah, I mean, again, man, it's we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've still got a few weeks to anticipate on that, and then we'll see how the movie actually is when we go to see it in theaters. But you want a hot take? I prefer the new Candyman over the original, Luke says. I do too. I do too, man. I actually agree. I mean, the first Candyman is a classic, but I feel like the new one is better directed, and I feel like it's a more interesting character study of Yahya Abdul-Mateen himself, who was unfreaking believable in that movie. Again, I feel like that's one of the more underrated performances of all of last year. That was on my top 20 list as well. So how would you rank the 4 Matrix movies? This is going to be a hot take. Well, number 1, obviously, is the original one from 1999. Then it would go Resurrections. Then it would go Reloaded. Then it would go Revolutions. I'm sorry. 2 and 3 made me fall asleep. That's just how it is. What's up, Jovan? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you here. Do you think it's surprising Doctor Strange has only had 2 movies in the multiverse? I mean, are you talking about 2 movies just in general? Like, do I think it's surprising? I feel like a slow burn isn't as surprising with Doctor Strange. I feel like there's a lot of ground still to cover with the character. I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is going to turn into one of the most popular heroes there. I mean, for crying out loud, Doctor Strange already has an entertainment show at Disneyland, or California Adventure in this case, where he, it's like a magic show almost. I got a chance to see that at Avengers Campus, which is dope, by the way. If anybody has not been to Avengers Campus yet, highly recommend you do so. But I do think that Doctor Strange still has a lot of ground to cover in the MCU as a whole. So I don't think it's necessarily surprising that Multiverse of Madness is only his second, basically. His second solo, that is. The Black Phone was originally supposed to come out the same weekend as Moonfall and Jack. Yep, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. That was, yeah, it was supposed to come out. Oh God, yeah, that was gonna make that weekend worthwhile at the theater. But yeah, I'm still very, very cautious about seeing the new Jackass. Don't like the idea. Sorry, Jacoby. That's just how I am. Ryan would love to see a Shawshank Redemption review and would love to collab on that one. There you go. Favorite Villenov film? I would say, yeah. So my brother hated Arrival, which I honestly don't necessarily get. But I mean, it's a good one. It's not my personal favorite. I feel like my favorite Villeneuve film, Prisoners. I mean, the character study for both Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And Blade Runner 2049 is one of the best looking films you'll ever see. Him and Roger Deakins together is a match made in heaven. So, Luke says his favorite Denis Villeneuve film is Dune. Villeneuve made David Lynch look like a preschooler. Well, yeah, I mean, as someone who honestly does not like Eraserhead, that makes me very happy to hear, my friend. So, I know that's a hot take, but I honestly don't get Eraserhead like at all. But if people find Eraserhead a masterpiece, that's fine. I just think it's like a little too strange for me. What's up, Zoe? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you here. We're just kind of, chilling over here. We're just 45 minutes deep into the stream. Lots of amazing questions so far, guys. This has been a excellent time. Don't Look Up is going to be the new Crasher Green Book if it wins. Yikes. Well, here's my thought on that, Jacoby. I think Don't Look Up is better than both of those movies. If people don't like Don't Look Up, it's probably because some were offended by it, which I get it. If people are very detracted by Don't Look Up just because of what it's saying about both sides of the argument, I get it. But I think it's, despite what I think, so I don't want to go outright and say it. Like, I'm more of a liberal thinker politically. It makes fun of even that side. It doesn't just make fun of, the bad stuff, the bad stuff that was going on, like, at the beginning of 2021. But it's what I'd like to say about Don't Look Up is that I feel like it makes fun of both sides of the argument, and I still found it hilarious. Leonardo DiCaprio's outburst in the news station might be one of my favorite acting moments of all time, if I really had to think about it, just because of the crappy year we've all been through and him basically just airing our grievances. I remember going to see that in the movie theater. And after he was done with that outburst, the people sitting behind me stood up and applauded. Like, I'm not even joking. It was like legit standing ovation after a masterful Broadway show. Like, they just saw Hamilton for the first time. It was, it's something I'll never forget as long as I live. So, I think that's why Don't Look Up I hope wins Best Picture. But if it doesn't, say la vie, it's okay. But Eternals is not going to get nominated for Best Picture. It didn't even get nominated anywhere else. Yeah, well, good, because it's very mid Marvel film. I'm still going to be buying it just to complete the Marvel collection over here, but it's very mid for me. Bo Burnham Inside for Best Picture. Ooh, that's an outside the box pick. I wouldn't mind seeing that and taking it, but yeah, no, that's a good one. No Way Home for Best Picture. I'm seeing No Way Home all over. Yeah, No Way Home, as much as Jacoby loves it, it ain't getting nominated. We'll see. Luke says, did you see the 4K cover for Ghostbusters Afterlife? I did, and it looks very shitty. I agree with you. I would much rather buy just the regular. If there's a steelbook for Ghostbusters Afterlife, I am on that shit so much. And I really, if anybody can give me a lead on a No Way Home Best Buy Steelbook, I would be eternally grateful. No pun intended, just because I'm trying to pre order it through Best Buy's website and I just can't seem to get my hands on one yet. I don't know if that's because they did not make them available yet or if the release date isn't out, but if anybody has any insight on that, feel free to DM me and let me know. I'm talking about movies competing this Oscar season like Power of the Dog, Spencer, Tick Tick. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you guys want a hot take, if you want a hot Oscar pick take, I would rather see Andrew Garfield win Best Actor for Tick Tick Boom over Will Smith. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know Will Smith was fantastic in King Richard. It's actually an honorable mention for me last year for 2021, which I did not mention in that video because I forgot. But yeah, Will Smith was excellent, but I actually wrote a whole college dissertation about Jonathan Larson, who Tick Tick Boom was based on. Andrew Garfield got every single tick of Jonathan Larson's personality perfectly. And the fact that Andrew Garfield can sing now, the fact that that's a discovery, yeah, we all know Will Smith can act, but that wasn't like a discovery performance for him. Andrew Garfield, on the other hand, I feel like he needs that Oscar more than Will Smith does. So, in any case, I mean, no disrespect to Will Smith at all. I think he's excellent in King Richard, but I feel like it's the same old song and dance. He comes out with an Oscar bait movie around this time of year, and he will get nominated sometimes if the movie's good, like Ali, but he just never wins it. He never wins the big one just because, like, I don't know if, like, the Academy sees through that, but it's, yeah, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If Will Smith wins the Oscar, I will not be surprised. I'll be happy for him, but I just feel like I'm sensing the pattern there from him, so. I can't believe Jared Leto is going to get nominated for Best. I hope not. I will be extremely offended if he does. So, extremely offended. And you can expect an Oscar nomination reaction live stream from me. If that happens, expect a rant of the century on my end. You can knock on wood, it doesn't happen. I don't want to have to rant about it, but if it does, you have my word. Who would win in a duel? Prime Luke Skywalker or Prime Anakin? Ooh. I would have to say, are we talking, Zoe, are we talking about Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, or are we talking about, like, Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker? Because it kind of depends. Like, green lightsaber Luke Skywalker against red lightsaber Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. That's a really tough call. But I do feel like, if it were between Return of the Jedi Luke and Revenge of the Sith Anakin, I would have to go with Luke in that sense, just because Anakin is really, like, on the edge of darkness at that point. He's almost there. Not quite yet. Luke is fully in there. But I feel like it's a difference of where they are at the point in their lives, basically, as characters, rather. If it's Empire Strikes Back Luke, who's unsure, then Anakin wins for sure. If it's Return of the Jedi Luke takes it all the way, for sure. Great question. That's a fun one. Yeah, these are all great questions, guys. But what we have here, the Dune 4K is the best looking 4K so far. I'll take your word for it, man. We'll take your word for it. It looks phenomenal. Excellent cinematography there. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, no. I watched Film Lover watched Cats for the first time. One of the worst. Yeah. As a musical theater person, I feel you, man. I mean, there's some good music in there. Andrew Lloyd Webber, same guy who did Phantom of the Opera, same guy who did Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Very underrated musical, Joseph, by the way. But it's Cats has no story to it. It really doesn't. I feel like James Corden should have known better by that point in his career. But in any case, Ryan says Chris Pratt is Garfield. Oh, no. Chris Pratt is just getting cast as everything now. After his stint as Star-Lord, after his stint in the Tomorrow War, he's just getting cast in everything. So, you want a hot take from Ryan? Scream 5 is his favorite in the series. Yeah, for sure. I feel like Scream 1 is always going to be a horror masterpiece to me. That was the movie I said in my review that introduced me to the horror realm overall. But yeah, Scream 5 certainly up there. Absolutely. Matrix Resurrections really frustrated Luke. That's That's totally fine, man. I feel like I had a lot more fun with Keanu Reeves being like a video game designer who's just in denial about the whole thing rather than him just like in the Matrix itself and being like, "Whoa, I'm the one." Yeah, it's a more fascinating character study for me. The more he thought about Garfield, it's not really hard to pull off. So it's not that bothersome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's at least uh at least Chris Pratt knows what he's signing up for, and Bill Murray isn't just signing up for Joel Cohen. Garfield. He mistakes him for one of the Cohen brothers. So, do you think 2021 was a solid year for films? It was an excellent year for films. I think way better than 2020. That's for sure. If you want like good blockbuster filmmaking, that's 2021's a great year for that, at least in my opinion. All right, let's see. A few more questions here. House of Gucci isn't good anyway. The performance was wasn't too bad. Oh man, we may have to have a talk. Um, Jared Leto, look, he had been rubbing me the wrong way for a long time. I did not like his turn as the Joker in Suicide Squad, even though you can clearly see that I own it right there. That's because there are things like Will Smith as Deadshot in there really captivate me. But Jared Leto as the Joker, didn't like it at all. Didn't really like him either in The Little Things, which was very mediocre, and he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that at the Oscars, which really goes to show you how bad of a year 2020 was, not just for movies but overall. Um, yeah, but House of Gucci legitimately in my top 10 least favorite performances of all time, just because of how not only miscast he was, but how offensive it was. Especially coming from him as like an and claiming that that was method acting. No, Daniel Day Lewis turning into Lincoln is method acting. Jared Leto becoming Italian is not method. So that's just the way I see it. Candyman is some of the best camera work I've ever seen. Zoe, I agree with you. Again, Nia DaCosta directed the shit out of that new Candyman. Actually gives me some hope for the Captain Marvel sequel as well. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Jackass in the chat right here. This is shocking. Vincent Smith, how's it going, my friend? Yeah, good to see you here. Do I collect Criterions? I sure do. And every Barnes and Noble sale, always on top of that 50% off. Let's see what's yeah, a couple ones that I picked up. Failsafe was from the last sale. This was recommended to me by my good buddy Jack Louderette. Still have yet to pop this one in. I just haven't had the time, but actually, you know what, after I get off the stream, maybe I'll pop this one in, yeah, and give it a look. Let me know what you guys thought of Failsafe down in the chat as well. Too far to reach out for me, but one of my favorite Criterions is 12 Angry Men, directed by the same guy from Failsafe. 12 Angry Men is a masterpiece. I don't care what anybody says. What's going on, Alex? Almost at 1,000 subs. Hey, you guys all did that. That's just incredible to me, my friends. I think at this point, guys, I'm going to take a few more questions, and then I'll go ahead and log off for the day. But again, thank you guys so much for popping onto the stream. I'll go ahead and finish off here these last few minutes. Jacoby does not care about Moonfall. Doesn't like Roland Emmerich aside from Independence Day, which was good. It's Independence Day is the definition of a stupid popcorn movie, basically. It's fun direction. I mean, there's fun action thrown in there all over the place, but it's not much story wise. How did you pre-order this, Ryan? I need more info about this, please. Vincent, yes, I have seen Schindler's List, and that is another masterpiece, in my opinion. I know I've just said I'm like not one that uses masterpiece loosely, but here I am using it about Scream, about Shawshank, and now Schindler's List. Think about this, my friends, and I brought this up in the '90s movie tournament with Ryan. Schindler's List and Jurassic Park were both Steven Spielberg movies, and they both were released in the year 1993 within that whole calendar span. Really think about how groundbreaking that is for a filmmaker to have two masterworks come out in the same year like that. Schindler's List, one of the best films ever made, easily. Pre-ordered the Steelbook for No Way Home when it was announced. Oh man, just keep checking the Best Buy website. I will. I'll just keep refreshing it like I'm waiting on a cast list. Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley should not be nominated for Best Picture. Well, I For one, I actually had not seen Licorice Pizza yet, and I really don't have any intention to, honestly. The trailers never really enticed me all that much. Nightmare Alley, I really enjoyed. I was very, very surprised by that. Really great performances all around. It's one of the better remakes I think we've gotten in recent years. Guillermo del Toro did wonders with it. Ending kind of abrupt, but it's definitely a very interesting character study. I think it's the best Bradley Cooper has been in years. I do definitely see that getting nominated for a bunch of awards. But let's see, is there any film franchise that you enjoy that you'd be interested in seeing a what if multi? Actually, seeing a what if of Star Wars, I think could be pretty interesting. I don't know about you guys, but if Rise of Skywalker, if they actually put out a what if, like taunting us with how good Rise of Skywalker could have been, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But do 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 do. Let's see. Jacoby says, don't think it's as clever as everyone in the movie thinks it is. I can see that. I can see that for sure. If the movie was a little bit overindulgent and some jokes I can definitely see getting repetitive and on people's nerves, like Jennifer Lawrence having to pay for free snacks in the president's office. But honestly, I found that joke hilarious. Every single time it was brought up, I was like, yeah, that's funny. That's a running joke. Spencer is a snooze fest. I haven't seen it. Believe it or not, have not seen Spencer, but yeah. Yeah, I'm currently watching Cobra Kai again, prepping for a live review. Oh, nice. Yeah, go check out Alex's live review. Yeah, he's got a great channel in his own right, and Cobra Kai is a fantastic show for sure. A fantastic topic to be talking about. Jacoby says Leto is going to get nominated. Oh boy. Yeah. So Ryan says if they nominate Jared Leto and not Jake Gyllenhaal for Nightcrawler, that is my villain origin story. I am still so pissed off with the Academy for not nominating Jake Gyllenhaal for Nightcrawler just because that was one of the best fucking performances I've ever seen in my whole entire life, and the Academy did not even acknowledge him. It's a blasphemy, if you ask me. Nightcrawler was only nominated for screenplay, I want to say, but it's Gyllenhaal should have been nominated. I'm still pissed off about that. Sony somehow canceled the Afterlife Steelbook, still buying the 4K because I want to see how. Yeah, I mean, the thing with my collection is like, let me just give you an example real quick. Where is it? Okay, so here I have my copy of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. The reason why I bought the regular 4K version of it, usually I would buy the Steelbook if it's Marvel, but I just did not like the design of the Shang-Chi Steelbook that Best Buy had out. And the reason why I went with the money shot right here of Simu Liu, who will be a superstar within the next 5 years because of this, but I just think it looks better, and that's the thing with my collection. It's all about what looks nice on the shelf and what covers look the best. So yeah, that's why I went with that version of Shang-Chi. So I think I'm just gonna go with the regular edition of Ghostbusters Afterlife, even though I'm not getting a 4K there in that case, which is okay. But Zoe Crawford clarified, yes, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, so he would win. He would win that duel for sure. But guys, at this point, I think I'm actually gonna have to log off. This has been such an incredible time. I definitely let me know if you guys want to do this more regularly because this has been such a. It's honestly been a real blast answering all your questions. But in any case, if you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can, as well as that thumbs up button on your way out. What you can expect from me, Goblet of Fire. I'm hoping to have that review out by Monday at the earliest. Other than that, I'm going to be watching Cyrano. And let me know in the comments, in the chat, if you want me to go ahead and review Bell for the channel, because I can do that if you guys want to. And for my wrestling fans out there, I'll be talking about the Royal Rumble 2022. My picks are AJ Styles and Liv Morgan currently. AJ Styles needs to win the Royal Rumble before he retires, at least in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, you got a lot of exciting things to look forward to, my friends, and I'm so excited to bring it to you. Let's go ahead and get that home stretch towards 1,000. Let's go ahead and round that number up. Y'all are the best. Again, this has been such an incredible time. I cannot wait to do this more and more. But so many amazing questions right here. But guys, for now, I'll go ahead and sign off. You guys are the best. Again, thank you.